All right, welcome back, everyone. Today we're diving into something, pretty special, I think. Zia Dantes, daughter of Marian Rivera and Ding Dong Dantes. She just had her first public performance, and, we're going to break it all
And so
down.
that's exciting.
Yeah, and we've got a couple of articles here to guide us, so let's just jump right in and see what we can uncover, what made this debut so special.
Yeah, because it's not just about a kid singing a song, right?
Right.
It's about a young person stepping into the spotlight, maybe for the first time ever.
Exactly. It makes you think, wow.
It does.
So Zia's big moment, it took place on December 1st, 2024, at the Podium Hall in Mandaluyong City.
Okay, so not exactly your average, high school auditorium or something.
No, not at all. Like, this is a big deal. And get this, it was her first time ever performing in front of an audience.
Wow. I mean, can you imagine? Most of us would be, terrified.
Oh, absolutely. To sing in front of strangers, let alone on a stage that size. And she's, the daughter of two incredibly famous people.
Right. The pressure must be insane.
I know. I can't even imagine. And Marian Rivera even mentioned on Facebook, like, she got teary-eyed just watching Zia rehearse.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I know. So, speaking of rehearsals, let's talk about the song choice. Andre Day's Rise Up.
Oh, wow. Okay, so that's a really interesting choice. It's not just some catchy pop song. This is a song with, a powerful message, hope, overcoming challenges.
Right.
It takes a certain level of maturity to connect with that, especially at such a young age.
Yeah, and it's not an easy song to sing either. Rise Up has a huge vocal range. You need a lot of control. It would be tough even for, a seasoned performer.
Absolutely. And think about all the vocal techniques. Breath control, projection, conveying emotion through her voice.
Right.
That's a lot to ask of a young performer.
It is. It really speaks volumes about her, dedication and potential.
For sure.
And she looked absolutely stunning while doing it. One of the articles described her outfit, yellow, sleeveless, with tulle and floral embellishments, ribbons.
Yeah. Oh, I can just picture her up there.
Belting out these, inspiring lyrics, looking like a star.
It sounds like they really put thought into her outfit, too, to match the song, yellow, optimism, joy, the tulle and flowers, a little touch of innocence, youthfulness.
Oh, for sure. It all just worked together.
Right.
And then there's this heartwarming Facebook post from Marian Rivera after the performance. You made Mama so proud. Remember, I'm always here to support you. Keep dreaming big.
It's just so nice to see that public affirmation, that love and support, regardless of, what Zia decides to do in life.
Yeah.
Really important, especially given, the potential pitfalls of growing up in the public eye.
Right. We hear those stories all the time about, child stars and the struggle.
Exactly. So having that strong family foundation can make a world of difference.
It makes you wonder, what were those conversations like at home leading up to the event?
Right. Nerves, excitement, doubts. I mean, it's a whole family journey.
It is. And it makes you think, what's the long-term impact of something like this? Will this be the start of, a lifelong passion?
Right. Will we see Zia, pursue music entertainment? Or was this, just a special moment that she'll cherish regardless of where life takes her?
Right, right. It's too early to tell, of course.
Yeah.
But it's just so fascinating to, witness those very first steps. Okay, but before we, get too far ahead of ourselves, let's zoom back in on the event itself. Because Zia wasn't the only performer that night. She was part of a bigger recital for the RMA Studio Academy.
Okay, yeah, and that's important context. Because the shows she's, part of a community, these young performers, they're all supporting each other, sharing this experience.
Right, exactly.
It's not just about, individual ambition.
It's about learning and growing together, celebrating the arts. And get this, some of the other performers included Tali Soto, Scarlett Snowbellow, Harmony Chua, Amari Soto.
Wow. Okay, so we're talking a mini celebrity showcase here.
Yeah, it's like all children of well-known figures in the Philippines.
That adds another layer, doesn't it? Because these kids are all growing up under that same kind of scrutiny and expectation.
Right, exactly.
It makes you think about the dynamics between those families. The support, the competition, the shared experiences of navigating childhood in the public eye.
Ooh, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
It's like a whole social microcosm. And then on top of that, you have GMA7 actresses Rian Ramos and Michelle Marquez D. They made a surprise appearance.
Oh, wow. Talk about adding to the excitement.
I know.
That's a smart move by the organizers, too. I mean, because you have these established performers, it elevates the whole event.
Yeah.
And for those younger performers, it gives them a glimpse of, what a professional career might look like.
Right, like a masterclass in stage presence and performance.
Exactly.
Right there in front of them. Okay, but let's not forget about Zia's performance itself and, all the reactions.
You mean the social media frenzy?
Oh, yeah, exactly. People were blown away. Her song choice, her confidence, her stage presence, like she made a real impression.
And that's so crucial for a young performer, especially one starting out. That positive feedback, it's incredibly validating. It can be so motivating.
Oh, totally.
It's like it makes you feel like you're on the right track instead of just, imitating what you see.
It really makes you wonder, what's next for Zia? How will this experience shape her aspirations and confidence?
Right. How will she handle the challenges, the expectations
Yeah.
that come with growing up in the public eye?
Right. These are all questions we'll explore further as we, dive deeper into this event
Yeah.
and its potential impact on Zia's journey. But for now, let's pause here and just reflect on what we've learned so far.
Okay. Yeah, good idea. So, we talked about all that pressure on Zia and those crazy expectations, but we can't forget about the amazing people in your corner.
Yeah, like a whole support system, right?
Totally. And the articles mentioned her vocal coach, Jade Reacha.
Oh, right, Jade.
And get this, she's also the artistic director, A&D, the music director for the whole recital.
Whoa. So she was super involved.
Big time. It seems like she played a huge role, not just training Zia's voice, but like getting her mentally and emotionally ready for this whole thing.
Yeah. I bet there were some nerves, maybe even some stage fright.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially with how big this event was, a good mentor can be like everything for a young performer.
Totally. It's not just hitting the right notes.
No way. It's about confidence, handling those nerves, all those little nuances of performing.
Right.
Jade probably helped Zia connect with the emotions behind the song, find her own way to express them,
It's like she wasn't just singing the words, but like really feeling them.
Exactly.
And that brings us back to those lyrics, all about resilience, hope, finding the strength to overcome challenges.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, do those themes like resonate with Zia personally?
Oh, interesting question. I mean, we can't know for sure, but even at 9, she's got to be aware of all that scrutiny, being the child of these famous parents.
Oh, for sure.
So maybe she's using this performance to express her own determination, like, I'm going to rise above all this and make my own way.
It's like she's saying, hey, I'm not just someone's daughter, I'm Zia, and I have my own thing to say.
Powerful stuff, whether it was intentional or not.
Totally.
And it gets us thinking about this bigger question. How do celebrity kids, figure out their own identity? Are they just defined by their parents' fame?
Or can they break free and define success on their own terms?
Exactly.
And it's not just Zia dealing with this, right? We talked about those other kids performing, other famous families.
Oh, right. They're all in this unique situation.
I bet there's a sense of camaraderie.
Oh, yeah.
But also friendly competition.
It's interesting. On the one hand, they get each other in a way most kids don't.
Right.
They've all grown up with the same pressures, expectations, probably figured out how to cope, built their own support systems.
Yeah. Right, like a little tribe.
Exactly. But they're also individuals, right?
Yeah.
With their own dreams and goals.
For sure.
So, yeah, some competition is natural, especially when you're performing.
Yeah, as long as it's healthy competition, right?
Exactly. It can push you to be better, to really hone your craft,
Right. And speaking of, honing your craft, what about that surprise appearance from Ryan Ramos and Michelle Marquez D?
Oh, yeah. I bet those kids were freaking out.
Starstruck, for sure.
But more than that, it was a chance to learn.
Oh, yeah.
Seeing these pros in action, their stage presence, how professional they are, that could be so inspiring for young artists.
For sure, like a sneak peek into what they could achieve.
Exactly.
And it shows that success in this industry, it takes way more than just talent.
Oh, yeah.
Dedication, hard work, that resilience.
Which, brings us back to Zia's performance and all those positive comments online.
Oh my gosh, people were so impressed.
It was like a love fest.
I know, her song choice, her voice, her presence on stage. Some even called it a star-making performance.
Wow.
But it's not even just about the praise.
It's deeper than that, right?
It's about that feeling of, validation.
You mean like she's not just riding on her parents' fame,
Yeah, exactly.
that she's actually talented and can make it on her own?
Right, and that can be so empowering, especially when you're young and still figuring things out.
For sure, it's like you're living up to your own expectations, not someone else's.
Exactly. Which leads to this question that I keep thinking about: how much of Zia's performance was like her own passion?
Versus, what her family or the public expected of her.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
It is. We can only guess, really.
Right.
But here's the thing. Even if there were those outside pressures, Zia still chose to get up on that stage and perform.
She did.
She chose to connect with the music, share something special with everyone watching.
It takes guts, no matter what the reason.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And it shows self-awareness,
Yeah,
agency.
even at that age.
Which is what makes this whole deep dive so fascinating, We're seeing the beginning of her journey.
Yeah.
And we're asking all these big questions about identity, ambition, talent, nature versus nurture.
Right.
We saw her family support, her dedicated vocal coach, those bonds with the other performers, and all that love from the public.
But we also talked about those pressures and expectations that come with, growing up in that spotlight.
And as we head into the final part of our deep dive,
Okay.
I think we need to consider the bigger picture.
Yeah.
What does Zia's performance tell us about how celebrity's changing? What about social media's impact on young people?
Right.
And what can we learn from her journey, whether she goes into entertainment or not?
Okay, yeah. So we really got to know Zia, her talent, the people around her.
Yeah.
But now I kind of want to zoom out, big picture stuff. Like you said, the celebrity is changing. Social media is huge. What's that like for someone like Zia growing up in that world?
It's a whole different ballgame now, isn't it? Think about it. Years ago, celebrities were, actors, musicians, athletes. They were famous for something specific, some achievement. But now, with reality TV, social media.
It's like anyone can be famous.
Exactly. You've got influencers who are famous just for, being famous. And that's the world Zia is growing up in.
Right.
She's already got this massive online presence because of her parents. So she's dealing with this new kind of fame from day one. It's not just about, being talented. It's about visibility, branding, this whole public image thing.
That's going to be a lot for a kid, right? How do you even, develop your own sense of self when you're always in the spotlight?
That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
And I think this is where Rise Up, that song choice, it becomes even more interesting. It's not just a good song. It's about resilience, finding your voice, overcoming stuff.
It's like a statement almost. Not just the performance, but the song itself. It's Zia saying, hey, I'm here, I'm strong, I can handle whatever.
Wow, yeah. Powerful stuff, especially from someone so young.
Yeah.
And it makes you think about, the role of art in a young person's life.
Right.
It's not just entertainment. It can be how you express yourself, how you find your place in the world.
And connect with people who, get you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thinking about Zia's performance like that, it gives me chills.
Me too. She's not just singing. It's like a declaration.
And that's what's so cool about art. It can be super personal.
Yeah.
And yet everyone can relate to it. It's like it speaks to our own experiences, but also connects us to something bigger.
Totally. Who knows what this means for Zia down the road? Maybe it's the start of a music career, or maybe it leads to something completely different. But either way, she's already learning so much,
Yeah. About expressing herself, resilience, the power of connecting with an audience.
Right.
It's definitely a journey worth watching. And I think there's a takeaway for all of us here, whether we're parents, teachers, or just, people observing the world. Those young people around us, they have depth, they have insight, they have something to say.
We should be listening.
Absolutely.
So as we wrap up our deep dive on Zia Dante's big debut, I want to leave our listeners with this. Don't underestimate the power of those little moments, Pay attention to the young people around you, the art they make, the messages they're sharing.
Good advice.
You might be surprised what you find.
Beautifully said. And hey, the journey doesn't stop here, right? Always more to explore, learn, and share. Until next time, keep diving deep.